Hey, what's up YouTube? Ahnaris here with another Starcraft 2 broadcast. With me today, Fitzyhere and Gobstopper. This is actually a fan game submission that I received in my ahnarisStarcraft@gmail.com inbox. The person that sent it to me, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but let's just say he said that this is a strategy that is fairly difficult to beat. So we're going to wait and see how this happens. Gobstopper is a top 8 Masters player, and Fitzyhere is in Grandmasters. So we're going to be looking at a decent high-level matchup today, and we'll look at the build, see how things go, and kind of take it as it comes. So I was very much looking forward to doing some StarCraft 2 1v1 and team games this bright and early morning. But I go to log on and the authentication servers were down, and I was just like, no! I have a day off and I can't play the game! But casting, you know what, man? It's just as good. Just as good. So, yeah, I hope you guys are having a good week so far. I had a fairly solid weekend. Got a lot of games in on my second channel. Still kind of working through Skyrim. That's taken me forever and a day, but I mean the game is massive, so that's more or less to be expected. So we're gonna kind of pay attention here to the Protoss and see what he is going to be working on as Gobstopper continues his pro production. Fitzy here is getting to the point where we're going to start seeing what he drops first. It looks like it's going to be a spawning pool. This is a very good defensive opener. It basically allows the Zerg to field those Zerglings very early to deal with that pesky probe harassment at the natural expansion. Now, of course, this probe is going to be coming down right now. Will it drop? Oh, so close! Oh, man. I thought that probe was actually going to come over there and start harassing, but no. Zerg was still kind of saving up there, and the probe just decided to keep on going his way, man. That probe, he is a man on a mission, or maybe a robot on a mission. I don't know what exactly you would classify that, or if even the probes have. Do they have genders? No, I don't think they do. I think they just have robot parts. What's up there, sexy probe? Oh, yeah, you get the lady robots, don't you? Oh, block denied. Nice catch right there. Well, we watched this cue the Benny Hill theme. Oh, nice drop. Let's pay attention back up here to Gobstopper, who just started working on his Zealot. We see he's currently sitting at 21 supply. Looks like he's been chronoing out his Nexus pretty hard. Second gas going down as well. Now, my question is he going to be going for something like a 3-gate expand? Or is he going to be going for something else with this gas down here? I'm really kind of curious. He has spotted the expansion over here, so he knows that the Zerg is going to be going, you know, pretty standard opener here. But with that metabolic boost on the way, that means our Zerg player is going to be able to apply some pressure to the expansion should Gobstopper decide to drop it. But right now, he's going ahead with a Stalker. So, very interesting choice of units there. Obviously, Stalker very good at popping off Overlord scouts. And as we look down here, we see this is actually kind of working into a greater plan. A robotics facility is going down. So that Stalker primarily is meant to pop off any Overlord scouts. Now, obviously, it's going to be relegated to Zergling killing duty here for the coming moments, but the primary purpose of this is to deny the scouting in the main base against the Zerg. Really, he just wants to make sure that those Overlords do not spot this at all costs. You know, I'm going to be kind of curious to see what he does with this, if he's going to be going for something like just a very quick Immortal, or if he's going to be getting like a Warp Prism, maybe just an Observer, although I can't really see that being justified for this early of a Robo. So we'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, back in Fitzyhere's base, we see an Evolution Chamber going down, and this is actually in response to the fact that he's come up here, he's seen, oh, look at that, there's no expansion. It looks like Protoss isn't even really going for it. He dropped that Stalker, so he's obviously not going for a economic route in terms of sentries, you know, which are very low in terms of mineral cost. So something else kind of going on here. Maybe he should get some anti-air, because possibly a Void Ray. Phoenix Harass, either way. Some type of Stargate play is likely. So you see a Spore Crawler going down here at the natural expansion, all the while he is just continuing on, producing his drones and pumping out the queens as well, going for a little bit of an early lair. That's something to keep an eye on here as we watch around. No upgrades coming, but we do have a Roach Warren on the way. So basically what the Zerg is thinking here is that, okay, whatever's going on, get some roaches, get some early defense, maybe get that speed upgrade +1 that might help some as well. But 2 more gateways going down for our Protoss player. As the Warp Prism heads out, we do have that Immortal and 2 Stalkers, and it's going to be going, right past the Overlord, which, obviously has spotted this strategy now. And so, of course, you see there's double Queen production now, and that Roach Warren just about complete. Spinecrawler being dropped in response as well. So the Zerg is basically just going to assume a very defensive posture here for the coming moments. You see around, it's looking pretty good. 1 Spinecrawler down here at the natural expansion, like we were talking about a moment or two ago. Also want to get that creep expanded very quickly. Seeing as how, yep, there we go, exactly what I was thinking. Seeing as how those queens are still going to be the primary defense here for the next minute or two, it's going to be absolutely critical that movement not be impaired by the lack of creep. So those queens are going to be able to come over and start shooting at the Warp Prism. Notice how they were actually kind of directly aiming for it instead of worrying about the Immortal and Stalkers, because it realizes, you know what, I can deal with the Immortals, I can deal with the Stalkers, but that Warp Prism is going to provide a constant source of pressure that he really, really wants to take care of. So he forced it out of the way. Shields were almost, or shields were dropped, and the health was almost dropped to 0. And now this is what I was talking about. He's going to be able to clean up the Stalker and continue on his way relatively unscathed. Of course, the drones having to come off as well, just to make sure that that Stalker does not continue to run around. But back up here in the Protoss base, he's still on 1 base. You see, again, Fitzyhere keeping an eye on this expansion. And as far as Fitzy's actual scouting, you see he's done a good job checking the expansions. Fitzy probably for a little while in the early game was thinking, you know what? No expansion here. Maybe he's dropping a hidden one. I know I've done that on several occasions, caught players off guard that just don't dedicate enough to scouting, and bam, you get a free expo. If you want a good example of this, look no further than that Naniwa versus Strategy game where Strategy dropped a couple different command centers around the map, and Naniwa really didn't check him because he wasn't on the ball with scouting. So Gobstopper looking like he's going to be moving out with a beautiful force considering what the Zerg has. He has forced the Zerg player to essentially play on 2 bases, expecting an attack here in the near future. He's building the Roaches and Hydra Den as such. I mean, he is preparing very well for this, but this army is just so beautifully oriented for dealing with this particular build from the Zerg player that I'm really not sure how this is going to go down in any favorable fashion for the Zerg. You see, here is the Warp-In up at the top of the ramp. Sometimes you'll see a player bringing a sentry up here to force field the ramp so there can't be any reinforcements. It's quite a popular move, but the force fields are going down, and you see the queens aren't able to do anything. A lot of these roaches are just sealed off from combat. Fitzyhere really struggling to keep his base intact as all of the spine crawlers have gone down. We see that Gobstopper up here all the while continuing to warp in reinforcements at the top while continuing to press down here at the natural expansion. All of the Immortals have remained intact, and they are just uniquely suited to take out the spine crawlers and the roaches. I think that was a very, very excellent strategy. Well played by Gobstopper. Fitzyhere as well. I mean, he reacted appropriately. He just didn't quite have enough information until it was too late there. I think he handled even the Warp Prism play. He knew that was coming. He was ready for that. He made the appropriate response. The Queens, the anti-air, focused down the Warp Prism. You can see it still has the remnants of the health being low there. But ultimately, that's just a really powerful attack. Very difficult to stop that with roaches, as those Immortals are just such impressive units against this, against that combination. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this is just a fan submission. I really have to say I'm quite impressed by it. If you want to send in your own games, I'll be more than happy to cast them as well. Ahnaris Starcraft at gmail.com. Again, Ahnaris plus Starcraft. Just take those two together, cram them, add some adhesive like duct tape in the middle. Yes, I definitely just like spun my hand around in a circular motion, and then tack on the at gmail.com and send them my way. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next video.